What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Moon Knight issue number 17. There has been a lot going on in the world of Moon Knight. Most recently, he is facing off against a vampire threat. Going by the name of Tutor, he is building what he calls the structure. What we have learned is that this is him going for power, wanting to eventually take the spot of Dracula himself, with the structure currently having control of New York City, at least in the shadows. When it comes to the vampire world, the vampire community, Tutor is the one that reigns supreme in New York. He really did believe that he was going to be able to take out Moon Knight, sending two assassins, Nemean Lion and Grand Mal. In the last issue, we saw the two of them facing off against Hunter's Moon, and he took one heck of a beatdown. Now it is time for the brothers' vengeance. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, make sure you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright guys, so this issue is picking us up with Hunter's Moon, with Moon Knight and Tigra finding his body. There is no pulse, there is no breathing. Hunter's Moon has been killed. Moon Knight knows exactly who is responsible. This is all the work of the Tutor, with his big conclave coming up. The vampire nations from around the world. Tutor wanted him off the board, and though Tigra would love to help him in this endeavor, getting the revenge, this is a path that she simply cannot trek. It is one that Moon Knight will not allow her to trek. This is where we see Moon Knight dragging Lion behind his motorcycle, hightailing it down the road. Moon Knight is not dumb. These guys have already beat him before, having assassin tech and superpowers. But the biggest problem is that they are not afraid of Moon Knight. He knows that he is unable to beat them on his own. A 2v1 fight against these two, he knows that he will not come out the victor. The good thing about this is that he doesn't have to, dragging Lion all the way back to the Midnight Mission, with Grand Mal following close behind on her motorcycle. They have no idea what they have just stepped in, welcoming the two assassins to the Midnight Mission, reintroducing himself, letting them know that his name is Moon Knight, and tonight is the night that they are going to learn why people are afraid of Moon Knight, with Lion letting him know that we killed your sidekick and now we are going to kill you. As the fight ensues between the three of them, Moon Knight lets them know that before, he didn't really understand who they were. He treated them like supervillains. The truth is, these guys aren't villains in that nature. They are hired killers. And so Moon Knight did his research. He knows exactly what they are capable of, and he knows exactly how he can take them apart. That's when a mist begins to fill up the building, starting with Grand Mal. He knows where she comes from, a place where it is nothing but war and violence, a crucible that really forged her into the person she is today. And while Grand Mal says that someone like Moon Knight, especially an American, could never fully understand what it is to come from there, Moon Knight reminds her that he may be American, but this is not America. This is the Midnight Mission. This is where Mal finds herself absolutely covered in skeletons. The Midnight Mission is recreating a hell of her own making. We have Lion, who is running for his life. Moon Knight letting them know that bullets and blades, these things aren't necessarily meaning anything to you. The truth is, all of that is up there. You are in my world now. Maybe you cannot fight me, but this is not a fight. This is a burial to the people that he protects. The Midnight Mission, it is a place of safety, but for people like these assassins, this is a place of punishment. Eventually, it gets to a point where both of them are screaming, Lion throwing up, on their knees, begging for him to stop. This is Moon Knight's place of power. This is his temple, with Moon Knight sitting upon his throne. He welcomes them here. This is when Lion says that they will give him everything that they were paid to take him out, that they will never have to see them again. But this isn't Moon Knight's decision to make. He killed Hunter's Moon, letting them know that he may have done his research, but they did not do theirs. Hunter's Moon isn't some sidekick. He is the brother of Moon Knight. He is a Fist of Khonshu, and the Fists of Khonshu, they do not die. That is where we see Hunter's Moon back back with the land of the living and ready to deal out some punishment. That is what takes us to the next night. The structure's vampire conclave is in full effect, with Dracula being one of the few individuals that is not here. This conclave is holding some of the most greatest and strongest, most powerful vampires to ever live. As the tutor goes on preaching about the structure, about the hierarchy, about how this is going to change the world, how the structure is expanding across the globe. That is when Maul and Lion, wrapped up in chains, get thrown through the window from the ceiling. Moon Knight entering through the front door, letting them know that this is a present from the Midnight Mission. And since this is a party, it is customary to bring a gift when you go to one. Seeing Moon Knight and Tigra, the two of them are ready to party. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Unfortunately, this comic was very short. More than anything, it was visual. Seeing the torture and torment that our two assassins go through. One of my favorite things from this run of Moon Knight has been the Midnight Mission. More or less a haunted house. One that needs people to live inside of it. Moon Knight making a deal saying that if you protect me and my friends, you will have somebody living inside of you for as long as we live. With this new alliance, it makes Midnight Mission one of the most dangerous places in the whole city. But it is only dangerous if you are an enemy of Moon Knight. We are learning that the tutor, he truly doesn't understand who he is messing with. These are the Fists of Khonshu. They may just see another cloaked vigilante, if you will, without doing their research. They don't understand that these two are powered by the god Khonshu. Overlooking these facts, not doing their research. Obviously, this is something that they are going to greatly regret. What we do see coming up in the near future is Blade and the Vampire Nation, a new comic that is coming out in a week or two. And I've been saying for a very long time, I have been waiting for this because I think it was about 2 years ago now. We saw in the pages of Avengers, Blade became the sheriff of Chernobyl, the Vampire Nation, the capital of the Vampire Nation. And it looks like that story is gonna finally continue on. I am very excited to see how Moon Knight is going to intertwine with that. If they don't do it, it is going to be a huge missed opportunity. But it seems to be very promising. It looks like Moon Knight is headed in that direction. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on the entirety of Moon Knight, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on the entirety of this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having 5 different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to getting free comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you are unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.